Hello, Riverside Unified families and community members. I'm Dr. Sonia Llamas, your superintendent. Welcome back to our RUSD Connect, where we take a closer look at the achievements and people who make Riverside Unified such a special place to learn and belong. This is a very special edition of our RUSD Connect because I am joined by our Assistant Superintendent of TK through 12 instructional programs, Dr. Daniel Sosa. Welcome, Dr. Sosa.
Thank you, Dr. Llamas. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
Thank you for joining me. So during our November 20th board meeting, Dr. Sosa shared a report on RUSD's outcomes on the updated Fall 2025 California School Dashboard and our district-wide instructional response to these outcomes. And I asked him to join me here today to share an update with us. So I wanted to just go ahead and start off by asking, can you please give us an overview of the California School Dashboard and what it tells us about student progress in Riverside Unified?
Sure, I'd be glad to. So the California School Dashboard is really the state's accountability system. Its intent is to help parents and the community go more than just past our test scores, but to look at a broader scope of what makes our schools successful and those areas that we can improve. There's indicators like English language arts, mathematics, chronic absenteeism, and graduation rate.
Thank you. What are the biggest takeaways from the data this year?
The biggest takeaways is that our students are making consistent, firm progress. We saw progress on almost every indicator that we have, and there's a couple that I'll like to highlight in our discussion today.
Beautiful, thank you. We saw improvement in several areas this fall. What gains are you most encouraged by, and what do you think they tell us about the work happening in our classrooms?
Yes, so I'm encouraged by lots of the data that was there, but in particular 3. So the English language arts, mathematics, and graduation rate indicators were as high as they've ever been, and we surpassed our goals. That points to all the hard work our students, our teachers, and our parents are doing to point us all in the same direction. Because when we row in the same direction, we can get there much faster.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sosa. Really emphasizing the importance of parents as partners on this journey alongside their scholars, our scholars. What are the major strategies we're implementing this year to continue improving outcomes?
We have 4 major strategies, or we call them critical elements, that are helping to really guide this instructional improvement. First, we have a renewed focus on what we call the essential standards. The standards are wide and broad, and there's hundreds of them. Teachers often tell us they don't have the time to go as deep as they need to be. So we've done an analysis on what are the most critical standards students need to know for the current year and to prepare them for the next year. This allows teachers more time to meet the students where they're at and go deeper with their learning. Second, we have a renewed emphasis on what we call student voice, or students talking in the classroom. We want students to be talking to their peers, talking to their teachers, debating, having discussions, all of that, because we know when there's conversation, there's learning going on. Third, the district has a renewed focus on instructional coaching. And what I mean by that is we bring in coaches for our teachers that help them take their game to the next level, because everybody can improve when you have a coach. And finally, we're working to continue to broaden our supports through our multi-tiered systems of support to help students where they need it in necessary areas like social emotional learning, behavior, and of course, academics. All of those create the conditions for the improvement we're seeing.
So what I'm hearing you say is underscoring the importance that Riverside Unified has really taken a holistic approach to student success and academic achievement.
Yes, absolutely. It's a great way to put it.
So as a parent, and many of our community members viewing this at home, what is the key takeaway from this year's dashboard results, and how can they partner with us to support student success?
The key takeaway that I want everyone to know is that our students are making progress, and we're taking a team approach. As you have rightly said, it's not just the students, but it's the teachers and importantly the parents who have come alongside as a holistic team to help students. What parents can do is actually pretty simple. First and foremost, it's make sure our students get to school. It is really hard for students to be successful when they're not at school consistently.
Well, I know how I feel when I run into school or to work late, or
Absolutely.
if I'm away at a meeting and I come back after a day of conference. There's so much that I feel like I have to catch up on. I can only imagine how our scholars feel.
100%. They feel the same way. Many times I often say, students are exactly like adults. They just have far fewer coping mechanisms in order to do that. So those things that bother us or would give us anxiety, give students anxiety as well. So parents, help our students get to school. The next thing that we can do is to talk to your students about what they've learned today and ask them for specific examples on what they learned. And the last thing, and this probably is the most important, really encourage your students to read and read widely about anything they're interested in, because we know with a wide variety of reading and a curiosity for learning, those are life skills that help anybody to be successful.
So as a parent, community member, educator, does it really matter what they read?
It doesn't matter what they read, it just matters that they read.
Thank you, Dr. Sosa, for walking us through this year's dashboard results. And thank you to our families and community for working alongside us to support, encourage, and love our scholars. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time on RUSD Connect.
Bye-bye.